Good morning from the streets of Lisbon, Portugal. Now this is my 4th time here, and today I'm gonna take you on a little walking tour of the incredible Portuguese capital. So let's go!
Devagar e de mansinho, depois rola o beijo e acelera. Foi troca de olhares no cantinho, pegou minha cintura, então já era.
Alright guys, before we start, let me give you a quick update. In the last video I was in Nazaré on the beach and I got a bus from there yesterday evening. So I got here last night and I used a bus company called Rede Expressos, and the bus journey was about 1.5 hours and cost 10 euros. I am now at a square called Marquês de Pombal, which is this massive roundabout here, and yeah, my hotel is just a few streets over there. And this is a very good area to stay in Lisbon because it is sort of the main transportation hub in the center. So if you are staying here close to Marquês de Pombal, you are very well connected to the rest of the city. So the hotel I'm staying at is called V Dinastia, and it isn't fancy by any means. It is a very basic budget hotel, and I got a single room for 55 euros a night. Also, this hotel has a really cool elevator, which looks like straight out of a museum. And yeah, that was the only reasonably priced private room that I could find. You can get a dorm bed in a hostel for 30 or 35 euros a night, but that's about it. Every other hotel that I checked was 100 euros plus, which I find a bit too expensive for Portugal, considering that in the other cities here you can get hotels for 50, 60, 70 euros a night, but nice ones. So yeah, the prices here in Lisbon, especially for hotels, have gone up quite a lot. And that is because of the tourism boom that this city has had for quite a few years now. And yeah, we are now on Avenida Liberdade, which is sort of the main shopping avenue of Lisbon, and Lisbon's answer to the Champs-Élysées in Paris. But yeah, the entire avenue seems to be undergoing some kind of gardening renovation over there. So I just wanted to explain that this will not be a classic city tour, because I simply don't have the time to film a proper city tour here, because I got here yesterday evening and I'm actually leaving tonight. So I basically have about 6 hours to film this video, which is not enough to cover the main tourist attractions around Lisbon. So that's why I'm gonna focus on walking the streets here and showcasing the vibes, because this city is absolutely amazing. Another thing you should know about Lisbon is that this city is basically one big hill. There is nothing flat here. Everything goes either up or down, and I am now walking towards the Tagus River, which is on the lower end. So yeah, if you are coming here, be prepared to climb up and down some hills, because you're gonna do that a lot. Now let's talk a bit about the history of Lisbon. Lisbon is actually the second oldest capital city in Europe, behind Athens. So the city was founded thousands of years ago, and then it was part of the Roman Empire, and then in the 8th century it was conquered by the Umayyad Caliphate, so the Arab Muslims, and then in the 12th century it was reconquered by the Catholics during the Reconquista of the Iberian Peninsula. So yeah, this is the bottom of Avenida Liberdade. Let's just head over there. And now you can see just how crowded it is becoming with tourists. Now, I've been to a lot of European capitals in the last few months, and this is by far the most touristy capital in Europe right now. I'm talking about tourists per square kilometer, not tourists in total numbers, because I'm sure that Paris and Rome and London have more, but here they are just more concentrated. So basically, the entire city is just full of tourists here. And you know, I am not complaining. I am a tourist myself after all. But it is something to take into account when you are coming here, and that is why hotels are twice as expensive here as in the rest of Portugal. But yeah, just look at how gorgeous Lisbon is. I mean, you have all these beautiful historic buildings, and then the pedestrian zone and some touristy shops where you can buy shirts of Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, and Neymar for some reason. As I was saying before, Lisbon is very hilly, and that's why you can actually go into these tuk-tuk vehicles here, whatever they're called, and they act as taxis to go up and down the hills, or just to go around the city. And yeah, I realized that I am talking quite a lot about the crowds here, and yeah, they are pretty insane. But I also want to mention that there are places that are very crowded for a reason, and Lisbon is one of those. There is a very good reason why so many people come here, and yeah, I mean, just look at it. It is gorgeous. But yeah, I thought that I was going to say to you guys, well, Lisbon is very crowded, but if you come here in late September, you will at least have a bit fewer tourists, but forget it. It really doesn't matter when you are coming here. I think it's always the same. I am doubtful that November or February will be any different, because I'm sure that the hotel prices might be a bit lower, even though I'm not sure about that anymore either. Another example of the crowds here in Lisbon, this is an elevator. I forgot the name, but I'll put it into the video. And the line is about 1 hour to go up there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that this isn't the only tourist attraction with a 1 hour line here in Lisbon. And here you can see some of the different hills that Lisbon has. And up there is actually the Castelo São Jorge, which is one of the main tourist attractions in the city. It's sort of a castle that overlooks the entire city. And yeah, I don't have time to go up there, but I have been up there 3 times in the past, and it is definitely worth it. This right here is Rua Augusta. Just gotta weave my way through the crowds here. And yeah, this is another very famous street in Lisbon. And at the end of this street, you have the arch, and this is where you'll find the famous Praça do Comércio, which is sort of the main historic square here in Lisbon. And yeah, you have this old tramway passing here, this lovely streetcar there, and there's another one here. And now I'm going to show you this incredibly beautiful plaza here, the Praça do Comércio, which is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful squares in all of Europe. So this square was actually built in the late 18th century, and there was another square here, but that one was destroyed by an earthquake. And this used to be where the government buildings of Portugal were, so many of the main ministries were located here, but that is no longer the case. And another thing I wanted to mention when it comes to Lisbon and its popularity, I mean, you can see that, is the weather. We are now in late September, and we still have around 30 degrees Celsius, which is absolutely amazing. So the temperature does go down quite a bit at night, but you'll still have about 15-16 degrees. So Portugal, and especially Lisbon here, doesn't have the harsh winters of Northern Europe, and there is just a lot more sunshine. Alright, so over there we have the Praça do Comércio, and now I am walking on the banks of the Tagus River. So this is the main river here that separates Lisbon in two. And we have 2 famous landmarks here. I'm going to show you those landmarks in a second. I have to get to this viewpoint over there. So this is the Tagus River, and the Tagus River runs through Lisbon. So the main part of Lisbon is of course on this side, but then on the other side we also have several neighborhoods of the city. And yeah, the river itself basically runs into the Atlantic Ocean over there. And Portugal being located on the Atlantic Ocean is one of the reasons why this is a nation of seafarers and explorers. I am sure you have heard the name of Vasco da Gama and Fernão de Magalhães, which is actually Ferdinand Magellan, as he's known in English, both from Portugal. Vasco da Gama was of course the first person to reach India from Europe, and Magalhães, or Magellan, the first circumnavigation of the globe, even though Magellan was actually killed in the Philippines. Alright guys, so I am not gonna spend too much time on the banks of the Tagus River here, because I really gotta get a move on. but I just quickly wanted to show you the bridge over there, which is the 25th of April bridge, and it kind of looks like the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. And then on the left we have the Christ the King Sanctuary, which looks a little bit like the statue in Rio de Janeiro. As I am very short on time today, I am not gonna stick around here. I am gonna return to the Praça do Comércio, which is over there, and then I'm gonna head into another neighborhood which is very picturesque. So this is the square again that I showed you earlier, and yeah, the neighborhood where I'm going to is called Alfama. So let's head over there. Just look at these streets, guys. Absolutely stunning. Now it's gonna get hilly because we are now entering the Alfama district proper, and you can see that you have all these little side streets that go up and down. So yeah, these are all the fantastic azulejo tile houses, and then you have these little hills here that go up, and at the end of this district we have the Castelo de São Jorge. Okay, now we have found a quieter street, but yeah, look at these tiles. This is really intricate. The entire facade here. Now I am starting to get sweaty here because we do have 30 degrees plus, and yeah, you're just walking up and down all the time. So let's continue. I actually want to sit down, but I just don't have time. I need to get back to my hotel in about 1 hour, pick up my luggage, and then continue the journey. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a taste of Lisbon here while I am visiting the city for the 4th time. And yeah, you can see that basically all the houses are on different levels. There's one down here, one level above, and another one. That is how Lisbon is built. And yeah, when you come here, just get lost in these beautiful streets, because there is something to discover at every corner basically. Like this corner here with the tiles. And then yeah, look at this. Got one street going down and one going up. I'm not sure where I'm going actually. Let's go down. I went up quite a bit. The good thing about Lisbon is that you just need to go up or down. If you just continue going down, you will eventually end up at the bottom, which is where the river is. But yeah, look at this. You got all the residents just hanging out their laundry. So yeah, here in Portugal, nobody has a dryer. People just hang out their laundry because of the endless sunshine. Just so many picturesque streets here in Alfama. This one. And then you got these little restaurants everywhere. Some of these are very good because they serve like Portuguese prato do dia, menu of the day. And then you will get a soup, a main course, and a coffee and a drink for like 12-13 euros, which is very good value. But some other restaurants here are very touristy and overpriced. Alright, I am back at the bottom of the neighborhood now, and yeah, it is actually time to head back to the hotel and then continue the adventure. Here we have the Museu do Fado. Fado is actually the traditional Portuguese dance and singing culture, and it is very melancholic. I am not sure if you have ever heard it, but it sounds very sad. And that is it from Lisbon, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I hope that I could give you a little taste of what this amazing city has got to offer. And yeah, see you in the next one. Goodbye.